Mr. Speaker, my question is on policy. There is a member of parliament from Bungoma who served 4 terms. But after serving 2 terms, it was interrupted. He started enjoying his pension. Then he came back, served another 2 terms. Now when he's gone back, he's unable to enjoy pension of 4 terms. Is it the policy of the government that such a member of parliament should be denied to enjoy pension of 4 terms? Instead, he's being referred to the first 2 years, first 2 terms, Mr. Speaker.
The Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, a quick question. I have on my phone messages to the effect from the people that send me to this house, that when will the minister stop this practice where when public servants retire, they have to spend the next year 2 to 3 years chasing their pension file at Bima House. Mr. Speaker, many of them retired teachers, doctors, public servants. I have seen from the response of the minister that they're actually inputting an integrated blockchain and biometric technology. The only thing that is missing from the minister's answer is when. That's very important for the people that vote for me to come to this house to know that when they serve the public and eventually they retire, then they will receive their pension at the next month after, because that is how modern world should work, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, that's my humble request to the minister to know when. I thank you, Speaker.
Senator John Newton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is not very different from what the majority leader has asked, and it particularly concerns teachers and police officers who are retired. Mr. Speaker, you will be told by the TSC, once you follow up, that the TSC has made all the necessary documentation and referred the same to Treasury. And why there are delays is because there is delayed disbursement by Treasury. And Mr. Speaker, I would want the CS to tell us what he is doing to prevent abuse of Article 223, because that is clearly where the problem with delayed disbursements are happening, where money is set aside for a particular purpose like this for settling, for sorting out pensioners under Section 223. Article 223, then such monies are drawn and taken to other use. What is the CS doing to see to it that there is no abuse of Article 223? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Miraj.
Asante Bwana Spika, swali langu halitakuwa tofauti na kiongozi wa wengi bungeni. Tuko na tatizo sawia katika sekta ya posta. Wale waliostaafu bado wanahangaika kutafuta marupurupu yao ya uzeeni. Tungependa waziri atueleze kuna shida gani wakati watu wametumia ujana wao kuitumikia serikali yetu, na wanapostaafu, wanapofika uzeeni, wanaanza tena kuhangaika kutafuta kiinua mgongo chao.
Senator Lenku.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think we also have the same sentiments on the issues of KCC staff, where we have a problem that 300 million has been a problem for retirees who retired so many years ago. And the national government, the government has never paid these retirees 300 million only, and that case is National Treasury. Could the Cabinet Secretary just shed the light on that? Otherwise, they will die before the 300 million paid.
Senator Eddie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Apart from people who don't get pension, there are people, Mr. Speaker, who actually get their pensions and they get stolen. I wanted to ask the CS whether he's aware that this is a project that is going on, where pensioners, especially teachers, we have got a number of cases that there is collusion with banks where their money gets up being defrauded from them. And specifically, if he's aware, what is the regulator under him doing, that is the CBK, to be able to deal with these issues in conjunction with the Treasury as well?
Honorable CS, you may respond. You have exactly 6 minutes to do so.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't know whether we will still address question number 048 because it's like we are the supplementary questions to the question.
Those that you feel will be answered through your response to question number 048, you need not respond to them now.
On the question of the team that was supposed to be put together to look at the issues of former councillors, I thought this was supposed to be Senate-driven, Parliament-driven, and I don't think we have got communication to the effect of putting our team in the team. But I think it's something that I can follow with the committee chairs, because I don't think we have made much progress on this. On the question that Senator Boni Khalwale asked on policy regarding members of Parliament who serve for the 2 terms, don't win re-election, and then starts enjoying pension, and then when they come back. It is the way the law is crafted now, that once you enjoy the pension, when you come back, either you choose to pay, to buy back the pension, and then you continue, and then when now you retire, the 4 terms will become counted cumulatively, or you forfeit, or you forgo. So, but there is an amendment to that effect that is being processed, so that we can allow former members who served for some terms and have come back to enjoy seamlessly the pension without that kind of a challenge. But the way the law is today, if you start enjoying benefits of pension, like myself today, if I come back again to Parliament, then I have to either buy back that period that I enjoyed the pension, or I forgo. So that is the law as it is today. Majority Leader, I agree with you that there's been challenges in terms of when pensioners leave employment and get into pension, they wait for too long to get their pension because of system challenges, but there are also other issues around delayed payment of pension, some of which is with those agencies or ministries where they're working, where you find the processing of files become a challenge, that files are lost, members move from one office to the other. We have even had cases reported of corruption getting into the system, and that is why we want to integrate the system. We want to automate the system. When you leave system to manual, there is bound to be abused, and that is what the ministry is taking steps to ensure that that is dealt with. Now, I think Senator Fumuranga is asking that the abuse of Article 223 is the one that is denying pensioners money or reallocation of pension fund. I am not aware of any pension allocation that has ever been reallocated in any way. Actually, if there is any particular location that is always ring-fenced, it is the pension. It is the CFS going to pension. So that is not correct. Yes, there could be abuse of Article 223, which we are trying to work on. But again, you'll also agree with me that that article was not provided in the Constitution in vain. The people of Kenya considered that there could be circumstances that would merit or warrant provision of additional funds that was not appropriated by Parliament or National Assembly for that matter. So if there are abuses, those abuses have to be dealt with, because this one is within the powers of the Cabinet Secretary for Finance. On the issue of poster employees and KCC, RBA has already put staff receivers in place to work out on how to pay these creditors, along which part of the creditors are former employees. because these are companies that faced challenges, especially Posta, the pension scheme for Posta. So there is already a process going on to make sure that that is addressed. Finally, on Senator Educate's question of defrauding pensioners by banks, if we automate, this automatically will be dealt with through automation. When you allow manual systems, it is open to abuse. And we have also identified that some pensioners have been defrauded through collusion, even between pension staff and also the bank staff. And that is something that we are addressing through automation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We will now move to question number 035 by the Senator for Kirinyaga County, Honorable James Murango. You may proceed to ask your question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My questions are as follows. A, could the Cabinet Secretary provide a breakdown of all taxes and levies imposed throughout the entire tea supply chain? And B, what specific taxation measures is the Ministry planning to implement in the financial year 2025-2026 to eliminate double taxation and other unnecessary taxes that overburden farmers and stakeholders in the tea industry? And last, could the Cabinet Secretary outline the challenges faced in previous attempts to eliminate some of these excessive taxes and levies on tea and explain actions taken to address them? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, you may respond. Now, Honorable CS, I note that the response is fairly lengthy. In the interest of time, please just try to paraphrase it, because we have, we already have hard copies with us. We'll be following as you paraphrase.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I notice also that my response is fairly too long. I will not go through my response in the traditional way. So, question number 35 by Senator James Murango was on taxes and levies imposed throughout the entire tea supply chain during Senate plenary. The first page is basically talking about the significance and importance of tea as the tea subsector as one of the drivers of economic growth in this country. We all know the contribution of tea to our economy. So I've just explained that in line with the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, or better if you like. Now, in the financial year 23-24, the government implemented a number of interventions specifically for the tea subsector, which included provision of processing equipment to tea cooperatives and establishment of a tea value addition hub and promotion of investment into the hub, export market development and export promotion, and provision of fiscal incentives and establishment of warehouses for value-added tea in key development markets. So these are reforms that are ongoing. I've also indicated how much tea has been contributing to our economy. Export earnings, I've already also explained how much we are getting in terms of export earning contributed by tea subsector. So in the financial year 25-26, as outlined in our budget policy statement of 2025, the government will be executing the following key intervention to further boost the tea subsector, and that is already enumerated: value addition, market development, farmer support. So these are explanations about what the government is doing, and infrastructure, putting up infrastructure, especially like in Dongo Kundu, special economic zone, and constructing research and development facilities for tea. So coming back to the question, where I was asked to explain or provide a breakdown of all taxes and levies imposed throughout the entire tea supply chain, I want to say that tea subsector benefits from numerous tax incentives, in fact, that supports its growth and sustainability, making it a thriving subsector. So this subsector is one of the subsectors that is actually cushioned, that is actually enjoying incentives, as opposed to getting to a sector that is subjected to additional taxes. So there is no VAT. I've just explained some of the exemptions or tax incentives, especially on VAT. I have said that there is no VAT charged at this level, at the farming level for tea. There is no VAT on inputs such as fertilizers. There is no, there is agricultural services are exempt from VAT. Agricultural farming tractors are exempt from VAT. I've also indicated that imported agricultural machinery used for land preparation are duty-free, but only attract VAT at 16%. Railway development levies at 2%. IDF is at 2.5% of the customs value. Tea processing, 100% investment deduction by tea factories located outside the cities of Nairobi, Mombasa, or Kisumu are also exempt. In fact, I think we should now add Eldoret and Nakuru, although there is also a thinking that we should remove this requirement at all of only cities, because cities are becoming many, and again, we feel it is unfair to the cities. Machinery used for tea processing is currently duty-free under EAC common tariff, external tariff. Income of an entity, including tea processing factories, are charged corporation tax at the rate of 30% like any other factory. Processed tea sold in the domestic market is subjected to VAT at 16%. Transportation services on unprocessed tea are exempt from VAT, and processed green tea is VAT exempt, and locally purchased tea for value addition before exploitation is zero rated. Marketing and distribution. Under marketing, tea brokerage services enjoy exemption from VAT. Locally purchased tea for value addition before exportation is zero rated. So, Honorable Speaker, manufacturers of packaging materials locally for uses by exporters of locally produced goods such as tea and horticultural products import raw materials duty-free under the EAC duty remission scheme. Packaging materials of all goods, including packaging for tea, also attract 16% like any other. Imported packaging materials attract excise duty at the 25% of the excise value, but I will give the latest information about that. Various government agencies charges fees or levies for services rendered to producers or manufacturers. Now, but I want to just point out, Honorable Speaker, two things. That in the finance bill of 2025, we have done two things. Number one, we are proposing to exempt packaging materials used for tea and coffee from VAT. This exemption will only apply when packaging materials are imported or locally purchased, with a recommendation from the Cabinet Secretary responsible for agriculture, given that the use of these materials isn't exclusive to coffee and tea packaging. This measure aims to protect these crucial sectors while also safeguarding government revenue. But the second thing that we have done is under custom duty. On the custom side, Mr. Speaker, last year, Kenya was granted a stay of application of the EAC Common External Tariff on certain paper products to apply a higher duty rate of 25 to 35% to support domestic packaging materials. However, this negatively impacted exporters, such as the tea industry. To address this, Kenya did not request an extension of the stay of application of the EAC Common External Tariff on these paper products during this year's EAC pre-budget consultations, which I led in Arusha. And actually now, Mr. Speaker, I want to report that we have gone back to the EAC CET rates of 10% like any other country in the East African region. On question number 35B, what specific taxation measures is the ministry planning to implement in the financial year 25-26 to eliminate double taxation and other necessary taxes that overburden farmers and stakeholders in the tea industry? I wish to respond as follows. I would like to clarify that there is no double taxation in the tea subsector. As regards to specific tax measures for the coming financial year, we are currently reviewing submissions from the public, but we have already reviewed the submissions from the public anyway. I think this answer should be amended to read that we have already considered and have just read some of the steps that we are taking to reduce taxation, which would support the tea subsector. So I have mentioned that the various incentives. I don't want to repeat them again. I want to go straight to 35C, Mr. Speaker. Could the Cabinet Secretary outline the challenges faced in previous attempts to eliminate some of these taxes and levies on tea and explain action taken to address them? I wish to respond as follows. While there may be challenges affecting the tea subsector, Honorable Speaker, the national government continues to extend numerous incentives to the subsectors outlined above. From consultation with the regulations of the tea subsector, various actions by various government entities are ongoing to address the burden of the fees or levies in the tea subsector. Some of these measures include enactment of Tea Act 2020, which reduced the management fee payable by tea factories from 2.5% to 1.5%, thus saving tea farmers approximately 1 billion annually from management fee to Kenya Tea Development Authority. There is the ad valorem levy of 1% of the customs value of exported teas, which was scrapped in 2016. The agricultural produce cess of 1% of green leaf was also scrapped in 2016, saving quite significant amount. And since July 2016, the government replaced the levy scrapped with a government grant to fund operations of Tea Research Institute and Tea Board of Kenya, which support the tea industry development programs such as research in tea, trade promotion, and market development, amongst others. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, Kenya's tea industry remains a vital pillar of our economy, supporting millions of livelihoods and contributing significantly to national development. Through the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, the government is committed to strengthening the tea value chain to ensure sustainable growth. I thank you.
Honorable Senator James Mrango, you may ask your 2 supplementary questions.
Asante sana, Mstahiki Spika. Mstahiki Spika, swali langu la kwanza zilikuwa kwa takwimu waziri aweze kupeana zile anda na kondi zote ambazo zinalipwa na wakulima majani chai. Mstahiki Spika, nimeona amejibu na kusema venye serikali inafanya ambayo ni sawa, lakini jibu langu hakujibu. Mstahiki Spika, kulingana na nakala niko nazo, mkulima majani chai kutoka bunge la kitaifa, kutoka serikali kuu mpaka zile za ugatuzi, analipa anda na kulipa kondi tofauti 42. Na nilipokuwa mwenyekiti wa kamati ya ukulima, tulikuwa tumekaa chini na kuwa tumeelewana kwamba serikali itajaribu kupunguza hizi. Lakini kwa sababu ambazo sijaelewa, waziri hakuziweka wazi. Kwa hivyo ningetaka kusema Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa swali hilo sikuridhika na majibu ambayo waziri amepeana siku ya leo. Kwa sababu Mstahiki Spika, nilikuwa natarajia kama ni taasisi ama halmashauri ya kuokota kondi, inaokota kondi zaidi ya 5 hapa. Ukiangalia halmashauri ya Nema ina kondi inaokota. Ukiangalia kama ni taasisi hapa kuna kondi inaokota. Ili tuweze Mstahiki Spika kujibu swali na kuendelea mbele, ningeomba waziri anapoenda anijibu hili swali ili niweze kusema na asema. Swali la pili, Mstahiki Spika, ni kwamba katika bunge la kitaifa kuna nakala ambazo waziri aliweza kupeleka pale mwaka huu, ambayo ilikuwa ina kondi mpya ambazo zilikuwa zinafaa pia kutozwa wakulima kahawa. Mstahiki Spika, hiyo sheria ambayo iko katika bunge la kitaifa na niko na nakala hapa ambayo iliwekwa katika gazeti la serikali. Ningetaka kuuliza waziri, kilimo cha msingi kitawekwa kondi mpaka lini? Kwa sababu nchi zinazoendelea kilimo cha msingi akiwekangu kondi na anda ili mkulima aweze kunufaika na mazao yake. Asante sana Mstahiki Spika.
Honorable CS, you may proceed to respond.
Mr. Speaker, I tried to put together some of the taxes that are and levies that are put or charged on tea right from the farming level. I put a paragraph. The tea processing, I put a paragraph. Marketing and distribution, I also put a paragraph. If the honorable member has any other levies that need not to be there, I think the best thing to do is to recommend for those levies to be removed. But as far as I'm concerned, I have enumerated what I am aware of are taxes and levies on tea. I think he has talked about some amendment that is in Parliament to put some charges on coffee. Yes. Maybe your Honorable Speaker, with your permission, he can explain again. He can come repeat the question again.
Mstahiki Spika, ukinipa nafasi nitamwonyesha waziri.